All right, here we go. Chapter 7, Unit 5, Lesson 11, Geology, Weathering and Erosion, Part 2. So I'm going to have you read along and listen to Chapter 7 again. It's right here. Lots of good information. We're going to take a closer look at the information that we read last week or last time. And so right here, it says weathering and erosion, as you read in chapter 7, are the processes that drive the rock cycle. What does that mean? What does it mean that they drive the rock cycle? Does it mean that erosion moves rocks like a car? Does it mean that weathering and erosion makes the rock cycle happen? Does it move fast? Or does it mean that weathering and erosion don't exist? Wildly swinging temperatures cause physical weathering. For example, rocks in a desert bake during the day beneath the sun's scorching heat. Think about it. What is this desert like at night? I'm asking, what does the phrase wildly swinging temperatures, what does that mean? Because we know that really has a part in physical weathering. So you have some choices. Does it mean that they change quickly, or they are in different countries, or that temperatures stay the same, or that they're extremely high? Talk about it. Look back in the text. Then here's a piece of text that I've copied and put right on here for you. And what I want you to do is to show how temperature causes physical weathering. And you get to, well, you have to choose two, because two of them show how temperatures cause physical weathering. Here's another piece of text right here where I want you to tell me how the idiom eats away, what that actually means. It's talking about acid rain, which we know is not a person or an animal, so it can't actually eat it. Excuse me. So what does it mean? The idiom is kind of like saying, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. It's, where you say something that doesn't actually mean what it says, but it means you could eat a lot, but you wouldn't actually eat a horse. So acid rain can't actually eat something. So what does that mean? It eats away at the outside of ancient and even modern buildings. And then here are your choices. And then here is another idiom saying, with a little help from water. Now, water can't get up and help you. Makes me think of the song With a Little Help from My Friends by the Beatles. But this says, with a little help from water, oxygen reacts with iron containing minerals. I'm so sorry. So how does water help oxygen? And then here are your choices. There's another one. When wind-driven sand hits rocks, it chips off tiny pieces. What does wind-driven mean? Do you think wind is driving a car? On top of these being some idioms, they're also making these things using personification, because wind cannot drive. But if we say they're, driving a car, it makes it seem like a person. And if acid rain eats away, it sounds like we're making it a person and that it can eat. So here is another piece of text to use to answer number 7. And it wants to know why the finest sediments are the last. Are they the heaviest? The lightest? Are they magnetic? Are they hot? Okay. Here, I did not know about this until a few years ago. Can you imagine that? Getting through college, getting a master's degree, and I did not know that if you have multiple adjectives, you're supposed to put them in a certain order. Really, we have learned this because it just sounds right when they're in the right order, but there is a right order. We always have the subject before. Then we have an article like a or an or the. And then we have our adjectives before our noun, the describing words. So it starts with the opinion or the observation. So the opinion could be pretty, or it could be crumbling. That's an observation. Or ugly. Then you have your physical description, like size, shape, age, and color. So the pretty or the crumbling, large, brown rock, you could say. Here's material. So we could say the crumbling, large, brown limestone, because that would be a type of material, rock. That would be putting them in order, and it sounds right. Origin means like where it came from. So if it, where it came from, for example, if it came from, sorry, I was on the wrong one. I had to go look at something. If it's English or American or Chinese, whatever. And then purpose, what it's used for. Like if it's a fiction book, if you were talking about a book, fiction or nonfiction, or, you know, maybe if we were doing the crumbling, large, brown, limestone column, no, that would be the noun. The purpose. Weight holding column. I don't know. It's a lot to think about, but we have to put them in that order. So I found a cute little video that can kind of help you. And what I want you to do is she gives an acronym. It is. I went to check. And of how to remember opinion, and then the size, shape, age, color, material, origin, and purpose. It doesn't, I don't think, really matter like if this size, shape, age, and color, if you do it in the exact order. Hers is a little bit different. Some of the posters I've seen are just a little bit different, as long as they're close. So her acronym is a little bit different than this order on the size, shape, age, and color. But I want you to get a piece of construction paper now and make a poster for yourself with her acronym. I want you to write the acronym, and I want you to draw a picture of it. So you will, after she teaches you the acronym, watch the video, then go back and make a poster showing her acronym. Because in just a minute, you're going to put some sentences into order in the right order. So you will use your poster to put these in the right order using her acronym. Then you will write a sentence using 2 adjectives. Be sure to order the words correctly right here. And remember that when we have multiple adjectives, we need to add a comma between them. So for example, right here, it has wears she pretty a green dress. So she is our subject. What is she doing? The verb is wears. She wears. The article is a. The opinion is pretty, because not everybody will think that green dress is pretty, right? Then the color is green, and the noun is dress. But it wouldn't sound right if you said she wears a green pretty dress. It just doesn't sound quite right. So most of them, it's just a matter of sounding right. She wears a pretty green dress. So big red A round apple fell. Use your poster that you make to put them in order. But remember, you have some ed puzzles with this and some IXLs. It's not set in stone by her acronym. You can use this one and think about what sounds right and ask for help. All right, we have some more spelling words. Everybody did so well. Now, with our field trip, we won't be having a test until Monday. So, our words are fault, a crack in Earth's crust, tsunami, a gigantic wave of seawater caused by an earthquake in oceanic crust, geyser, an underground hot spring that periodically erupts, shooting hot water and steam into the air, erosion, any process of force that moves sediments to a new location, glacier, an enormous, slow-moving mass of ice found in polar regions and near tops of tall mountains. Tectonic, relating to the process of plate movement on Earth's surface. Molten, melted. Seismograph, an instrument used to track seismic waves traveling through the Earth. Epicenter, the point on Earth's surface directly above an earthquake's focus. Conclusion, a decision or opinion formed based on information you have. In your activity book, it is on page 110. You need to tear that page out and put it in your owl binder so that you can take it home and study it every night. All right? And then on your choice board, you have some activities. Now, using that chart above, choose the correct spelling word that matches the definition, and then there will be some for you to choose the correct part of speech. So, right here's the definition. Right here's the definition. Right here's the definition. And then here are your choices. And here are the words. Right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get to our parts of speech. So think about molten. Is it a noun, a person, place, or thing? Is it a verb? Is it an action word? Is it an adjective? Is it describing a noun? Or is it an adverb? Is it describing a verb? And you have that for molten, seismograph, fault, tectonic, glacier, erosion, and epicenter. I do not want you Googling this. I want you discussing it with your group. Go up to the definition and figure it out. Is it a person, place, or thing? Is it an action? Does it describe the noun? A noun. Or does it describe a verb? We can't use Google on this. You need to discuss it and work on it together. And you also have your choice board.